Hello, kings and queens, and we are back with another video. Video today is going to be about like 4 easy steps to keep a guy or a woman. So please subscribe, share, and like. All right. Okay. So today's video is going to be about like 4 easy ways to keep a man or to keep a woman. Right. So the first one is about being confident. Right. Because like the number one thing is like when meeting up with someone or about to be with someone or want to spend the rest of your life with someone or like a forever or just to like be dating and just to get to know each other, like the person wants to know that you are confident, like you have a lot of confidence in yourself. Because if you don't, and being confident is all about like believing in yourself. So if you don't believe in yourself, no one else will. Okay. So and then if you're just meeting someone for the first time, you don't convince them by you being like confident, and then they're not gonna believe or trust you. Because being with someone, sometimes it's all about like knowing that I can be with you when I'm here, you can handle yourself, and when I'm not here, you got it. So the number one thing in a relationship to get a man or to keep one is to be confident. Because if you don't, forget it. Because he wants to know that you are okay. He wants to know that you are capable of doing anything, that if he's not around, like, you don't have to depend on him. So, and again, being confident is just like a turn on when it comes to guys. They really find it very attractive. Okay, so just be confident. Like that's the number one thing. And then number two is to be authentic. All right. So being authentic is like putting your pride on the side. I'm not saying to forget who you are, because that's not what it's all about. At the end of the day, you have to know who you are before you can help someone else, before you can be there for someone else. So being authentic, it's all about like putting your pride on the side, and again, putting your respect up front. Okay, so sometimes we being authentic, sorry, and we forgot to be ourselves, or I would say our values, up front, just to let the person know who are they dealing with. Okay, so it's about knowing your value. I will not even say your value. I would say more like qualities. So knowing that and put that up front, and that way someone else can be there for you and understand them and to get to the right path. And at the same time, when you put your pride on the side, it's not like it's all about you, but at the same time, it's not, because you are trying to get to know someone else to take the journey with. So and number three is all about healing. So you have to heal first before getting into a new relationship. Because sometimes what we do, we take the baggage that we had from the last relationship to the new one, and now we are making the new person paying for what the last person did, which is not fair. So whoever you were with, so just make sure they paid for what they've done to you. Okay, so if you are doing it like the wrong way, you making the new person paying for what the old person did to you, that's pretty much being selfish. So I understand sometimes you put like a whole list together, like a whole plan together. It didn't work with the last person, and you're like, you know what? I'm not going to try again because it didn't work the first time. No, that's not how it works. Okay? It may not work with the last person, then it's going to work with the new person. And most of the time, the reason why it didn't work out is just because you didn't sit down, you didn't come up with a plan, you didn't know, you didn't ask like straightforward what you wanted. So sometimes it's all about like what you want, and then the person is not just gonna sit there understand what you want, what you need, without you telling them. And then it's just like, don't let the person just assume of who you are and also what you want. Okay, and then it's all about like addressing what you need at the right time, or at the time it happened, or right away. So I would say like being present while you are in it by addressing things is just the best thing that you can do in a relationship. And that's by, like, if you not, let's say if you didn't heal from the last relationship, you are not going to be present in the new one. And that's not fair with the person that you are with now. I know so many times we're like, oh yeah, when something happened, you just like leave the other one, get with someone else. That way you can get over the last person. It's just, to me, that's being selfish and being unfair. Because you can't just like move on like that without healing. So most of the time we got into relationships like that without healing, it's really like, it hurts both ways. You're hurting yourself and then you are hurting the person that you are with. And it's just not fair, you know? So be present, be there for each other. And again, like, know what you want. And don't take the last baggage to the new one, because it's not fair. You are dealing with like a brand new person. And if you take like the last baggage to the new one, it's not going to work out. And I'm pretty sure that you don't want to waste your time. Nobody wants to waste their time. Okay, so just like, you just heal first before getting, you can always date, and not getting into something serious. Just be out there because you want to, because that's what you want to do. It's fine. Because I'm not saying like, just when I'm saying to heal, I'm not saying like to just sit in the corner and keep crying about the whole situation, because that's not how it works, So it's all about like, make a plan and understand what you want, what you need. That way you don't make the next person that you are getting in a relationship with suffer. Because at the end of the day, you're going to be suffering because you're going to be lack of trust, a lot of issues, just because of what happened from the last relationship. It's just not fair. Okay? So I'm hoping that you understand what I'm saying, what I'm trying to say. So it's always great to like heal first and be present. That way you can be present in the new relationship that you are going to have with the new person, because it's not fair for you, it's not fair for the person if you're not healed, thinking that like, oh yeah, all guys are the same, or sometimes like, yeah, oh, no, we are not the same. We are totally like different, believe it or not, so it's all about getting to know the person, heal first, be present, because if you're not 100% present, there's nothing you can do. It's like me like doing this video right now, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, oh, I gotta go do something else. It makes no sense because I'm not in it. So you have, wherever you are, you gotta be in it 100%. So that's what I meant by saying like, make sure you are healed from the last relationship before getting into the next one. Because if you are not healed from it, you can't be present in the new one. And maybe, the new one may be something that you were looking for, something great. But just because you are still like hurt from the past, you can't see the new like opportunity in front of you, or just to take the journey with the new person. So that's why I'm like, heal first. I'm not saying to sit in the corner and cry, like I said, but just make sure you are completely present with the new person, like 100% there. Because you can't give like 50 and saying, you know what, I did this, it didn't work, I got played. It's okay. The last person who played you is not the new person now. So open your heart, be open-minded, and keep it going, keep it moving, and it's going to be fine. And if it doesn't work out, then you can make another decision to move on. But until then, you can't just be like, oh, guys are the same. I'm just not gonna put 100 in. Always put 100 in. Always put 100 in. That way, when something happened, you don't sit there saying, oh my God, maybe I didn't do this. Maybe that's why it didn't work out. Maybe like I was wrong. No, don't go by that. Don't go by maybe. Like, that's why like you should always put 100 in. That way you knew like 100%. Once you moved on, you're like, okay, I did this, it didn't work. I give it all, it didn't work. So that's why like there's nothing else you could have done, and you did it all, it didn't work out, and you moved on. That way you don't go back to it again. Because that's like, so many times we make that mistake where we like, oh my God, maybe I was wrong. Or maybe the person called you up and talk about it with the communication. And you're like, oh my God, I didn't do this. I didn't do that. Maybe it could have worked. And you go back into it, put the same amount of time or even more, and it still didn't work out. You don't want to do that, okay? So that's what, when you are in it, give it all. If you don't get it back, you talk about it, it didn't work out, then you're like, okay, I give it all, it didn't work out, now I can move on. You understand? So healing is like a whole process. I know it's not easy, but it's something that you have to do for you and the other person you are going to be in a relationship with. That way you can have a successful relationship. You don't jump in from, here, there, like all over. Okay? Yeah, that was number 3. So number 4 is like being attractive still to that person. Because sometimes what we do when we are trying to date someone, we're like, oh my God, I have to look good. I have to do this. I have to do that. Once you get in the house, you got married, or you started dating, you automatically just like start doing whatever you want. Like your nails are not done, your hair, like anything, like the way you wear, it's just like, it's not good for you. It's not good for the person. And you are not going to be able to keep up with that guy, or you're not going to be able to keep up with that woman. Okay? Because the very first time the person talked to you and got with you is because they saw something they liked. Okay? So once you sit there, you stop doing it. So automatically, the way they felt about you, gone. It's not the same feeling anymore. So they start looking at someone else. So that's why most of the time too, it's great to tell the person, listen, when I met you, this is how it was. This is what I got attracted to. I was attracted to you by this way, that way. And then now you are not doing it anymore. It's like the charm goes away. The person don't feel the same way about you. So to me, I always look at it like being in a relationship, or whether you like dating, single, boyfriend, girlfriend, like married. To me, it's all about just always think about like you are still single. I know it sounds crazy, right? Like you're like, what do you mean I'm still single? I'm married or I'm in a relationship. Listen, the more you think about it like that, the better it is going to be for you. Because if you think about it like that, you're still going to think about like, I have to keep doing the same thing that I've done when I was single before I got my boyfriend or my girlfriend or my husband or my wife. So it's still going to keep the relationship like really like spicy. Like you're still dating, you are in a relationship, but you still feel as if you have to impress your significant other, So it's like, it's a great thing to do. Always remember who you are. Always remember what I would say, always remember like the foundation of the relationship, and then always add on like more, always add more into it. Okay? So this is like the best thing I can do. So this is like my 4 ways of getting a guy or getting a woman and keep up with the same thing, like keep up with the same like energy, keep up with the like, oh my God, like he likes me, oh my God, like I want him, oh my God, like I want her, So if you don't keep up with it, so it's going to be a problem. So therefore, you always have to keep up with what the person fell in love with, okay? So that's the message. So that's my 4 ways of keeping up and getting a guy. Okay, so the number 1 was be confident, and number 2 was being authentic, and number 3 was healing from your last relationship, and number 4 was still being attractive to that person. Like you can't just be like, oh my God, like I'm good, I got the person, it's over. No. The person still want to see something else. That's why, like, most of the time after they got you, like, I don't know, I did this, I did that, I made the sacrifices, and they looked at someone else. They talking to other women. You know what? Do you want to know why? Because the other women are doing the same thing that you did when you got him, or the same thing that you did when you got her. If you used to open the door, continue opening the door. Okay? If you, whatever you used to do before, like going on a date with them, continue doing it. You know? It's like, it just never stopped. Because if you stop doing it and that's what the person liked from the beginning, so they are going to look for it somewhere else if you don't continue doing it. It has nothing to do with you being a bad woman or with him being like a bad guy. It has nothing to do with that. So keep up the same energy and keep your relationships. Thank you so much, guys. Continue to like, continue to subscribe, and continue to share. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Mwah.